What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Let's get started with our first news. Max Holloway has shared a detailed prediction for the upcoming matchup between Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev, offering insight into how he believes the fight will unfold. Speaking in a recent YouTube video, Holloway explained that although many fans expect Makhachev's dominant grappling and championship experience to control the bout, he sees a very different scenario playing out. According to Holloway, Jack Della Maddalena has the tools, discipline, and physicality to push Islam into uncomfortable territory and eventually stop him. Holloway emphasized that the opening 2 rounds will be extremely competitive, with both fighters having their moments. He believes JDM's takedown defense will be one of the most important factors of the fight. Holloway expects Jack to successfully defend a significant number of Islam's early attempts, forcing Makhachev to work much harder than usual and gradually wearing on his gas tank. While many people insist that Islam never gets tired, Holloway argued that fatigue is always present in high-level fights. It's just that Makhachev is often less tired than his opponent. In this matchup, however, he predicts the pressure will shift. Holloway thinks Jack's size, strength, and forward pressure will surprise Islam as the fight progresses. He believes JDM will make Islam uncomfortable in the striking exchanges, eventually finding openings to land clean shots. Holloway pointed out that when Makhachev gets hit solidly, even if he is not badly hurt, there are visible signs that he does not enjoy being in those positions. That, he says, is where Jack thrives. With all these factors combined, Holloway is leaning toward a late finish for Jack Della Maddalena. He predicts a potential 3rd round TTO, envisioning a scenario where Islam begins to slow down after prolonged resistance, giving Jack the chance to capitalize with crisp, accurate striking. In Holloway's view, Jack will be able to find Islam's chin, build momentum, and ultimately raise his hand in victory. Before we jump into the next story, we have a small favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon. It really helps us out and ensures you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. Islam Makhachev recently had another light-hearted exchange with Daniel Cormier, creating a moment that quickly went viral among MMA fans. During an ESPN MMA interview, Cormier sat down with the lightweight champion to discuss his preparation and mindset, but the conversation took an amusing turn when Makhachev suddenly noticed DC sniffing. Without hesitation, Islam leaned back slightly and jokingly but seriously told Cormier to keep his distance because he didn't want to catch anything before his upcoming fight. Makhachev pointed at him and said, "Your breath's sick," before asking directly if Cormier was feeling unwell. DC immediately defended himself, insisting that he wasn't sick at all. He explained that it was simply cold outside and that his nose was running because of the weather. He even brought up allergies, trying to reassure Islam that there was nothing contagious going on. But Makhachev wasn't buying it. With his signature dry humor, he told DC that everyone who is actually sick always says the same thing, that it's just allergies. He teased Cormier by repeating the word, almost as if he didn't believe allergies were even a real excuse. Islam playfully insisted that he wasn't taking any chances, especially with a major fight around the corner. For him, staying healthy is a priority, and he made it clear in a joking but slightly serious tone that DC needed to keep his germs to himself. Cormier laughed off the moment, trying again to convince Islam that the cold weather was the real culprit, but Makhachev continued to raise an eyebrow at DC's explanation, keeping the interaction lively and entertaining. The exchange showcased their friendly dynamic, the type of back and forth that fans love to see between 2 longtime teammates and champions. The moment highlighted Islam's cautious, laser-focused approach to fight week, while also reminding everyone that even elite fighters aren't above playfully calling out a friend who might be spreading sniffles. The clip has been widely shared online, with fans appreciating the humor in Islam's exaggerated suspicion and DC's frustrated attempts to defend his allergies. It became another memorable moment between the two, showing how their chemistry naturally adds fun to any interview they share. Move on to another news. Dustin Poirier recently had an amusing encounter with viral sensation John Pork, and the moment quickly circulated across MMA social media. While the two were casually chatting, Poirier couldn't help but joke about Pork's resemblance to Islam Makhachev, creating a light-hearted exchange that fans immediately loved. As Poirier approached him, he looked at Pork with a mix of curiosity and humor. "Really? 2-time?" Dustin said playfully, acknowledging John Pork's online persona as if he were introducing a longtime competitor. Poirier then asked whether he knew how to wrestle, clearly setting up a joke. Pork simply responded with, "No wrestling," prompting Dustin to nod and repeat, "No wrestling? Okay," as if evaluating him like a potential fighter. That's when Poirier delivered the punchline, "You look like Islam." His tone carried that familiar blend of humor and respect, referencing how Pork's appearance loosely resembles Islam Makhachev's distinctive features. John Pork responded with a grateful "thank you," which only made the moment funnier. Poirier then complimented him further, saying he was in good shape and jokingly adding that both of them were retired, referencing his own uncertain fighting future. The exchange highlighted Dustin's naturally charismatic, playful personality. Fans enjoyed seeing a lighter side of the Diamond, who is usually associated with high-pressure bouts and championship-level discussions. Interactions like this remind people why Poirier is one of the sport's most likable figures. He can shift easily from serious world-class competitor to down-to-earth humorous. Meanwhile, John Pork played along perfectly, maintaining his calm persona and adding to the comedic timing. The clip spread quickly because it blended MMA culture, fighter humor, and an iconic internet character all in one moment. It also subtly reflected the state of Dustin's career, as he hinted at retirement while still engaging with fans and enjoying the sports community. Overall, the meeting between Poirier and John Pork turned into a short but memorable moment, one that showcased authenticity, humor, and the unique crossovers that MMA culture creates. Move on to another news. The UFC has officially confirmed that Cody Haddon has been removed from his scheduled bantamweight bout against Malcolm Wellmaker at UFC 322. According to the promotion, Hayden was forced to withdraw due to an injury suffered the night before. As a result, the matchup has undergone a significant change. Stepping in on extremely short notice is UFC newcomer Ethan Ewing, who will now make his debut on one of the biggest stages in the sport. Ewing enters the organization riding an impressive 8-fight winning streak, with 7 of those victories coming by knockout. Because of the late replacement, the bout has also been shifted from bantamweight to a featherweight contest. Shortly after the announcement, Malcolm Wellmaker addressed the situation in a video message, giving fans an inside look at how he found out and how he feels about the new matchup. He explained that he received a call early in the morning informing him that Cody Hayden had broken his foot sometime the previous night and would be unable to compete at Madison Square Garden. Wellmaker expressed clear disappointment, emphasizing that he had been fully prepared for the challenge and eager to test himself against Hayden on such a massive card. Despite the setback, Wellmaker maintained a positive and composed attitude. He acknowledged that he knew very little about Ethan Ewing, only as much as most fans do, but he expressed respect for the newcomer for stepping up on short notice. He credited Ewing for accepting the fight under challenging circumstances, recognizing that not all fighters are willing to jump into a debut at Madison Square Garden on just a few days' notice. Wellmaker admitted that losing the original matchup broke his heart, not only because he had trained specifically for Haddon, but also because he believed a strong performance against him could have earned significant respect within the division. Still, he made it clear he is grateful to the UFC for securing a replacement and even more grateful to still have the opportunity to compete on such a historic card. He reassured fans that nothing changes in his mindset. He plans to put on a show, embrace the moment, and give the fans an unforgettable performance. He ended his message with confidence and appreciation, reminding everyone that this is part of the fight game, unpredictable, chaotic, and ultimately guided by fate. Move on to another news. Shavkat Rakhmonov has fired back at Jack Della Maddalena after hearing comments that he believes downplay his status in the welterweight division. Recently, Jack was asked about Shavkat's position among the division's elite, and his response didn't sit well with the undefeated contender. Rakhmonov, who has earned 2 victories in the past 2 years, a dominant finish over Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who is now unranked, and a hard-fought decision win over 6th-ranked Ian Machado Gary, has remained the division's #1 contender despite limited activity. But JDM suggested that the division may have moved past him. When discussing Shavkat's place in the rankings, JDM argued that long layoffs inevitably push fighters backward. He said that if someone remains inactive, especially in a division where fighters like Sean Brady and Ian Gary stay consistently active, their momentum naturally fades. Jack emphasized that he believes activity is the most important factor in staying relevant, adding that Shavkat's extended breaks make his top ranking harder to justify. Still, JDM noted that he would fight whoever the UFC puts in front of him and that he doesn't choose his matchups, but Rakhmonov did not appreciate the implication that his inactivity should cost him his position. He responded sharply on social media, directly calling out Jack's claim. In a pointed tweet, Shavkat wrote, "The only reason you got that title shot was my injury. Funny how you forgot you were inactive for almost 14 months before that." With that message, Rakhmonov reminded fans and fighters alike that Jack's own path to the top was far from flawless and that circumstances, not superiority, opened the door for his opportunity. The exchange highlighted a growing tension within the division as rising stars like JDM push for recognition, while established contenders like Rakhmonov fight to defend their spots. It also reinforced that Shavkat, despite being soft-spoken in most interviews, has no problem addressing sharing comments he feels misrepresent his career or accomplishments. With both fighters on the brink of major opportunities, the rivalry between them may only intensify in the months ahead. Move on to another news. Bo Nickal has recently voiced strong praise for Jack Della Maddalena, calling him the most underrated fighter in the entire UFC. In a new video posted on his YouTube channel, Nickal discussed the upcoming fights, sharing insight into the athletes he has been watching closely. When the topic turned to JDM, Bo did not hesitate to express admiration for the Australian contender's skillset and overall fight IQ. Nickal explained that he has spent considerable time studying Jack's game, breaking down his performances, analyzing his striking patterns, and observing how he adapts during tough moments inside the octagon. According to Bo, JDM is far more complete than many fans and even fellow fighters realize. While most people label Jack primarily as a dangerous striker, Nickal believes his timing, composure, movement, and finishing instinct place him among the most well-rounded competitors in the division. Bo emphasized that in his view, the most underrated fighter in the UFC could honestly be Jack Della Maddalena. He elaborated by pointing out that Jack is set to fight again this weekend, and that this matchup will be an important test, especially because he's stepping in against one of the best wrestlers and grapplers in the division. Even though many see JDM as a stand-up specialist, Nickal believes his ability to handle elite-level grappling threats has improved tremendously. He described Jack as legit, noting that his calm demeanor, sharp boxing, and killer instincts are all attributes that tend to get overlooked simply because he isn't the loudest or the flashiest personality. Nickal added that he is genuinely excited to see how Jack performs in the upcoming bout, acknowledging that the fight will be challenging, but also an opportunity for JDM to prove just how skilled he truly is. Overall, Bo Nickal's comments reflect an uncommon level of respect from one of the brightest prospects in the sport. Coming from a decorated wrestler with elite credentials, his endorsement adds weight to the argument that Jack Della Maddalena may not only be underrated, but on the brink of establishing himself among the UFC's most dangerous and complete fighters. Move on to another news. Israel Adesanya recently had a genuinely funny moment during a training session that quickly spread across MMA's social media. While fully locked in and focused on his drills, Adesanya was so immersed in the rhythm of his movement that he didn't even realize Dan Hooker was standing right beside him. The moment of realization came suddenly. When Israel finally turned his head, he visibly jolted in surprise, creating a hilarious reaction that had everyone in the gym laughing. The clip captured Adesanya's intense concentration, showing just how mentally dialed in he becomes during training. His focus was so sharp that the presence of a full-grown teammate, one he trains with almost daily, went completely unnoticed. When he finally recognized Hooker beside him, he let out an animated burst of shock, instantly breaking into laughter afterward. The two shared a playful exchange that highlighted their chemistry and camaraderie inside the city kickboxing gym. In the video, as Israel recovered from the scare, he jokingly blurted out a few playful remarks referencing Hooker in a way only close teammates can. He called Hooker his favorite whitehead, leaning into the humor and keeping the vibes light. It was a perfect example of the dynamic that has made city kickboxing one of the most beloved teams in MMA, competitive fire combined with genuine friendship. Fans enjoyed seeing this side of Adesanya, especially as he's often known for his laser focus, sharp intensity, and technical mindset. Moments like this show the human side behind the champion, the ability to laugh at himself, enjoy playful banter, and maintain strong bonds with teammates who push him every day. Dan Hooker, known for his deadpan humor and laid-back personality, played the role perfectly, staying quiet and still until the exact moment Izzy noticed him. The interaction reminded fans that even elite fighters, athletes who operate at the highest level of combat sports, still have spontaneous, funny moments that show the lighter side of training life. In a sport filled with pressure and expectation, this brief but memorable scare showcased the natural joy and energy that fuels the team's success.